Today I'm talking about Square In-App Payments. So my talk is titled In-App Payments Purchases, Integrating Payments into Your Mobile App. So with the existing mobile platforms, traditionally we use purchases or billing for selling our digital content. So you can take credit and debit cards, Apple Pay on Apple, Google Pay on Google, and then they both offer gift cards. So that's what we're used to. So what is Square In-App Payments? Instead of almost a third of your payment going to a provider, we offer just 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. So this is way more similar to a traditional credit card charge. We also support the credit and debit cards, and then Apple Pay and Google Pay as well. And we also have stored card support, where you can take a card and put that on file with a customer and rebill them, even if they don't have Google Pay or Apple Pay from a manually entered credit card. It's a completely customizable interface, so you can customize everything from the font to the color of the errors, but it is a card flow where you can see in this animation here, when you put in your credit card information, you get the Square animated card entry, and back from this SDK, you're going to get a nonce, a one-time use nonce that you can make a payment with or that you can put a card on file with. So this is a great way to do in-app payments in your Android, iOS, Flutter, or React Native apps. So obviously, you don't want to give away a third of your payment processing, so you would want to use this. So when can you use it? You can use it for physical goods. So if you're buying a t-shirt or groceries or anything that you would just purchase, you can use it. You cannot use it for digital goods for, say, an in-game item. You can use it for physical services. So for a plumber, for a massage, you cannot use it for digital services. So for an in-game item improvement or something like that, you can use it for physical subscriptions. So if you have a recurring grocery delivery, or you have physical magazine subscription, or anything that happens in the real world, you can use Square In-App payments. But for digital subscriptions, say a digital magazine, a music subscription that was digitally streamed, you cannot use in-app payments. So it's an amazing SDK that you can just add to your iOS, Android, React Native, or Flutter app when you're dealing with anything in the physical world for payments. So one of the interesting questions then is, can you use Square when you have digital purchases? And you can't in your app. You can do like what Netflix does and basically not let people pay in your app and use Square Online. So that way you can get the low percentage rate, but if you want to be using digital goods in your app, you'll be needing to use these traditional services instead. So in addition to In-App Payments SDK, we also have the Square Reader Sdk. This is not for when your user is going to be putting their credit card in their mobile app. This is for when you want to use Square hardware from your mobile app. So you all might be familiar with the little white reader from Square. If you go to square.com/developers, we'll mail you one for free. Normally, you would then grab our app, our point of sale app, from the App Store. And you can then get charging right away. You can charge a credit card, but that's going to be from our mobile app. What Reader Sdk lets you do is drop Reader Sdk in your own app and integrate with our hardware. So all you need to do is give an amount and a currency, and Reader Sdk will wake, say, the reader we have here on the screen. It'll wake it from sleep via Bluetooth, let the user do their whole card entry, and then the SDK will just come back to you with it was paid. So it dramatically simplifies what used to be an incredibly complicated process with EMV and PCI compliance, and instead makes it a very short sprint to get your own integrated payment. So this lets you do things like having a self-serve stand for burgers, or in the back of a cab, letting the riders split their fare on an Android tablet and Square Reader attached to the back seat window. So I think there's a lot of really interesting things that can be done with Reader Sdk, and it's a really exciting opportunity to build. So I'm Shannon Skipper. I'm an engineer and evangelist at Square. Please tweet at SquareDev if you have any questions, or email me, skipper@squareup.com. But we can't wait to see what you'll build. I think there's a lot of really exciting opportunities. I mean, in-app payments is a simple way to get a credit card payment in your app, but Reader Sdk unlocks a lot of really interesting things. So we have a workshop tomorrow morning. If you'd like to sit down with Square engineers and implement something, either with Reader Sdk or in-app payments, we'll be here at 9 a.m. in the labs room from 9 to 10:30. So look forward to seeing y'all there. Thank you so much.